I just sold 3 of my Sigma Prime lenses. And it's sad because these lenses used to be my dream kit. I used to always want to own them. And gradually, over time, I acquired all the Sigma Trio. It became the Sigma Quattro, if that's the word. The Sigma 16mm f1.4, Sigma 30mm f1.4, Sigma 23mm f1.4, and Sigma 56mm f1.4. I bought those 4 prime lenses, one after the other, for my Sony a6700. And at the time I was only making just YouTube videos. Alright, and as we speak I only have the 23mm 1.4 and the Sigma 10 to 18 f2.8. You see, when you're starting out to make YouTube videos or just camera stuff, buying camera gear, you are very bound to watch loads of YouTube videos, and they tell you how good prime lenses are. They tell you how the shallow depth of field, the 1.4 aperture, 1.2 aperture lets in more light and you can have more background blur and separation. I get it, it's fine, but then you start to get the gear acquisition syndrome that makes you just keep buying these things and not realizing that there's more to video creation, or there's more to what will make your videos look good than just your lens aperture. You start to feel like you need this gear to make better content, or you will become a pro videographer or a pro photographer or content creator if you get all these gears. It's not just lenses, but lenses are a very good example. But as time has gone by, I've learned to realize that sometimes a simpler and lighter setup can be more practical. In recent times, I started shooting lots of pro work, like client work, going out there to shoot social media content for businesses in my city, and taking a bag with me with 5 Sony lenses and like 2 other for my Fujifilm camera wasn't just quite practical, So my decision to downsize is more to help me pack less things when I'm going out on shoots. As I've now matured to see that I could do better or more stuff with less equipment and less options that I have to think about. And at the same time, just put that money somewhere else in more priority stuff rather than just keep buying gear. While I'm investing more time into better storytelling, learning how to script my videos and just shoot better, compose better, light better. If I take that money from those 3 lens sales, I could buy another light, So yeah. So the reasons why I decided to sell the 16, 30, and 56mm are, I have the 10 to 18, right? So I can get a 16mm in here. The 16 prime is a 1.4 lens. If I need more light when I'm using this on the 2.8, I'll take my ISO to 2500. If it's still too dark, I probably shouldn't be shooting anyways. Then as for the 30mm, I do have a 35mm 1.7 by Viltrox for my Fujifilm. And that's mainly for photos, not video. So I've realized I enjoy taking pictures with my Fujifilm camera. And my Sony is mainly for videos these days. I just don't really take as much pictures as I used to take, or I thought I would be taking. And the 56mm, which is an 85mm equivalent on full frame cameras. The 56mm looks very flattering. It's nice, it's tight, it just looks different, but it's a focal length I have grown to realize that I don't really love. I don't use it as much, it just sits on this shelf right here and collects dust. So those were my reasons. And if I need a 56mm, I'd rather buy the Viltrox 56mm. It would cost me less money, and I put it on my Fujifilm, and that'll be it. I know everyone complains about the autofocus on Fujifilm cameras, but when it comes to taking pictures, I really don't mind. I really don't see a reason to not use it. I figured a way how to use my Fujifilm to take pictures and not miss focus. So yeah, that's that. But like I said before, fast glass does not automatically raise up your levels, like level up your work or just make the standard of your production way better. There's so much more to learn. But if anything, chasing after these gear and getting this, if I get this, if I get that, it just locks your mind into that direction and start to think that's all there is to it, and you start to forget the more important things, and you stop to learn these other important things. And you hear people talk about audio and you think, yeah, that's fine, but if I get the FX3, I'll be good. You know, you hear people talk about compositions or arrangements or all these things, color grading. You just don't even think about the color grade. Maybe you think it's your camera that's supposed to make it look good, or when you see videos online and you think that video looks good because it was shot on an FX3. So after I have learned these things, and I have learned to realize I don't even need to shoot f1.4 all the time, because I used to shoot f1.4, put an ND filter on it and just have that crazy blurry background. But sometimes it's weird when you shoot people and viewers cannot tell what's in the background. They don't know what's there, if what environment you're in. I'm shooting this video right now on a f2.8 lens. It's a Fujifilm X-M5. I put the 23mm f2 on it. I could have shot on f2, but I know on f2.8 you get better optics from any lens that you get. You stop it down a little more from the fastest it is, you get better results. So that's what I did on here, shooting f2.8. I'm very happy with the result. You can see me, I'm sat here in my studio. I am more in focus than background, but you can still see the background. So I can say I have matured now away from chasing fast glasses, and I could just live my whole life with a 10 to 18 and an 18 to 50 APS-C. Now what is next for me? After now, I'll still shoot my current kit for now. The A6700 is still serving me well, but the more my client work grows, the more I get more retainers and start taking it more seriously. I'm looking at moving to full frame, not because the crop sensor is bad. It is not bad. If you have enough light, if you got control over light, you make great videos with your crop sensor. But with the full frame, I'm likely to get a FX3 or an A7S3 or ZV-E1 or an A7C2 at the least. With the FX3, I can get more dynamic range, which is something that you shouldn't worry about if you're starting out. The difference between dark areas and light areas shouldn't really be a problem for you. If you're recording in a studio like this, where you have your light source and you can control the light in the room, lift or cut out light if you want, don't worry about dynamic range. Every new camera these days have got 10-bit color, so your color grades in post will not be broken. Your videos won't fall apart very easily. And if you've got a 10-bit camera, you get a decent zoom lens, you're pretty much good. So but getting full frame is gonna help me have better low light performance. Just makes me look more professional to the clients, because at the end of the day, regardless how much you know what your gear can do, sometimes the client looks at your rig and it's like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. You know, it helps with your rates. Sounds crazy, but it's true. But now I'll just be buying tools to help my process rather than chase numbers or try to get the latest or the greatest and best that's advertised on YouTube. I mean, it's funny, I'm a YouTuber myself. I make videos talking about a gear that you should buy, that you should get, you know, and all these things. Well, yeah, I just thought I'd make this quick, simple video for you to have a rethink. If you're trying to make a purchase, buy a new camera, think if you really need it. If you're trying to buy a lens, if you do really need it. If not, if you don't really need that 50mm 1.4, just buy a 24-70. If you don't really need that 35mm 1.4, just buy a 16 to 35. I mean 2.8, and you will be good. Nobody really cares about them blurry backgrounds if the overall video doesn't make sense. Let me know in the comments what lens you thought you needed but you don't need them anymore, and you're thinking about selling, or you've already sold. Or it might not be lenses, it might be camera gear, it might be a camera, it might be maybe a microphone that you thought you really needed and you spent so much money on them, but now you realize there's more to it than that and you don't need it anymore. Let me know what you think. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.